like-minded students in New York, like-minded students in Miami, Kentucky. We have students from Santa Clara. Having conscious families connect with conscious families across the country and outside of the country, where students get an African-centered education that allows them to go to college if they want to do that, to start their businesses if they want to do that. It's a full academic curriculum. Now, of course, people don't have to take the whole curriculum. They can take part of it to support their homeschooling efforts. So they can take some courses for middle school, some courses for high school students, and sometimes we have after school and Saturday classes. So we are AYA, AYA Educational Institute, and you can find that at ayaed.com, ayaed.com.
All right, you heard it right here. So we're talking about these type of, I call them truth-centered schools. We like to call them African-centered schools, but I like to call them truth-centered.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, the students. Well, let me just give you an example. We're dealing with a course called Economic Conundrum, and in this class, the students are these are high school students. They're going back to find our economic prowess during captivity. Because most times when we think of us in captivity, I don't use the word slave referring to us, and I surely don't use the word master referring to white folks in relation to us. And so we were Africans in captivity. So when we study this period, most times we don't have a picture of us as producers of wealth, okay, as skilled. And so we don't understand after captivity how we created Black Wall Street, how we created Sweet Auburn, how we created in Oklahoma. So we really have a different take. Now they are learning about the Civil War, actually about captivity, but from a different perspective, from a perspective of our economic power and prowess that we then used, check this out, to engineer our freedom during the Civil War. Okay, don't get me started. See, what people don't know is during the first year of the war, the North lost every major battle. Every major battle they lost. When they got to an area and Africans had already freed ourselves, then the Northern soldiers put us back into captivity. But by the second year, when there was desertion left and right, then Africans decided that we needed to transfer our labor. In order to execute our freedom, we transferred our labor from the South to the North. People don't understand. That's money. That's economics. That's economic power. And because in order to sustain a war, you have to have economic power. To sustain any war, you have to both keep the home front stable. You have to keep the exports or whatever you grow to exports to get money in. So the South would create cotton. We would produce the cotton. They would sell it to Britain in exchange for the ships and the guns necessary for them, because Britain wanted our captivity to go all the way to Cuba to support the industries. But when we stopped doing that and transferred that labor to the Northern cause, actually it was to our cause. We just allied with the North. A lot of people don't get it, okay? It was our strategic decision. See, most times we don't think about us in captivity making strategic labor decisions. We did, okay? Both the labor of with our fighting in terms of fighting in the war, because nobody fought like we fought, but also our labor in producing materials that could be sold that would support the Northern war effort and, of course, support our freedom effort, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you when you said truth, this is truth, okay? All right, because we don't know it like that. So this African-centered way is a way to get to the actual truth of a situation. It's called storytelling from the inside out. Most times, even when we're talking about us, we tell our story from the outside in, from others' perspective on us. And what we do is flip that. So the students learn by learning how to tell our collective story from the inside out. They also learn to tell their own story from the inside out. And it gets to some of the pieces that the previous guest was dealing with. See, some of that chatter is because we learned how to look at ourselves from the outside in, and we don't know how to tell our own story, even when it's about us, especially when it's about anything that looks like a failure. We often tell the story of that from the outside in. My point is that the students are learning, and how they're learning in school translates to their own personal and psychic development, because they're learning to tell their own story as well as our people's story. from the inside out.
Now that's a school.
Indeed.
Yes, give people more information again if they wanted to contact you about the school. Middle school and high school, right?
Middle school and high school, 404-201-2356, 404-201-2356.
That's
or
so needed.
AYAED.com. If you go anywhere on the internet and you put Wekesa Madzimoyo or Fia Madzimoyo, you'll find us, or AYA Educational Institute. We are celebrating 20 years. Come November, it'll be 20 years. So we're in our 20th year, 2018.
That is so. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, that's beautiful.
It's black love. It's
That's
love
right.
of our people, you know. And because if we love our people, then you work for our people. Don't tell me you love me and you're not willing to work, you know, for justice for me. You're not willing to fight for me. You're not willing. Oh, I love you. But I see you on the street and you're down in the gutter and I'm just ignoring you. Go, no. You know, actually, believe it or not, Martin Luther King said that, given that this is the city of King, he said, if you say you love somebody, and he was talking actually to white folks, and you're not willing to work for justice for those folks, he said that's the kind of love you have for a pet. We don't need that kind of love. And so as we work to build if you love our people, then we won't let others who don't have our interests at heart educate our children. Okay? And for us, we know that our school can't teach all of our children. And so we're a demonstration school. That is, we take the things that we've developed and we share them, you know, with the community, with parents, with other schools, so that, in fact, we are learning how to educate us for liberation and for sovereignty. It's more than a notion. I mean, you know, you got to have some space to do it. And in our space, we don't have to answer to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. I don't have to get their permission to try one program or another program. And our students, our high school students, are involved. They have to be serving the adults at our Black Love celebration that's going to happen, you know, this weekend. Now, why is that important and as a part of education? Because they need to see people, you know, Mama Tamu said at one of our sessions, talking about her husband of over 40 years, 42, 43, probably 44 by now. I mean, they've been at it, okay? Says, I was turned on by his love for and dedication to our people. They need to be a space where they hear that and see the result of that kind of turn on that turns into a relationship of over 40 years. You see what I'm saying? We got to redefine romantic love so that it's still romantic. It's still hot now. Everybody, we're going to get busy. At the same time, how about you connect romantic love to healing love? Okay? What about you connect romantic love to building love? What about you connect romantic love to revolutionary love? You got to do it. That's what we do. Now, we don't talk about it, just talk about it. We're not black. We're long. Our community is too long on ought to and not enough on how to. And so this Black Love celebration is not where you get preached at. It's not a lecture. It's a place where you come and see it and celebrate it and be in it. Singles and couples jump into this space of love, okay, of authentic Black love. That's what we got to do. That's what we do.
So tell me, when is this? Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, that's Saturday, February 10th at 7 p.m. Can I say where it is going to be?
Yes.
It's going to be at the Helene Gale Multipurpose Center. This is on John Wesley Dobbs, where you put Helene Gale Multipurpose Center, or go to blacklovedinner.com. This is our 6th year. You go there, you'll see all of the people we've honored, okay? Because you see, we're holding up. Instead of preaching to folks, we just show them. You know, we just show them folks who've been, you know, kicking it. Young couples, all right? Individuals who've shown love to our community, okay? So this year, Anana Harris Paris, okay, will be getting the Community Healing Love Award, okay? Because of her healing work in our community. Damani Akil, okay, will be getting a Community Building Award for his showing of love by how he's dedicated to building community, Africans in the diaspora. We have, for couples, we have Jamar and Octavia Rahim for their tremendous work right there in the West End. Her yoga work, his working with youth to begin to get into nature and not be afraid of it. You know, that we're holding up their example of love. Will be Kevin and Keitra for their work, also, you know, in our community for their building. So it's couples and individuals, and then of course we always started with ancestral love, okay? Because it's just critical that we hold up our ancestors who loved us so that they gave their lives to us, okay? I don't just mean they gave their lives for us, okay? Huey P. Newton said, yeah, it's fine to die for the revolution, but can you live for it, okay? It's good to die for the people. How about living for the people? But these folks have lived and dedicated their lives, and this year, the Ancestral Love Award goes to Nana Before, otherwise known as Asa G. Hilliard III. Okay, to accepting that will be his family, including the Honorable Mayor Patsy Hilliard. All right, and for the first time, we get to give an Ancestral Love Award, but because the Honorable Mayor Patsy Hilliard is there, we get to talk about their love that made and supported his revolutionary work. Okay, now y'all, we talking about some going way back, you know, that when he was drumming and she was dancing, you know, in Denver. Okay, so you hear love stories, you hear some wonderful love stories, and that's what we have to do. BlackLoveDinner.com. Y'all, we be about it. We be about revolutionary, romantic to revolutionary love. Please check us out.
True indeed. That is so beautiful. And so, what is it? BlackLoveDinner.com to get more information. Baba Wekesa, Madzimoyo in the building. InI Radio, Higher Consciousness Friday, fitting right into that.
Indeed.
For sure. And so, you know, when we talk about this black love, you know, we're talking about so many different aspects,
That's right.
you know, of black love. And one of the things that when we when I kind of ran into you and we was just vibing, you know, in the place, you touched on how people are so scared, or we're just it becomes taboo to speak along the lines of our intimacy.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that is a big piece of education and enlightenment that's missing from even younger age children. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we saw, we started this for two reasons. One, we didn't want people to keep using our black love to get our dollars. Okay? You know, we're going to show love to each other this month. It's in the air, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to do that with roses and all that. Man, you know, this $18 billion going to be dropped over the holiday. But people were using our black love to get our black dollar. We said, no, we want to redirect that. The other thing that we wanted to do, to your point, Sheriese, was we found that people in our community were okay to talk about ancestral love, okay to talk about community love. But we got kind of skittish when we wanted to talk about romantic love. And I said, well, y'all act like nobody didn't get busy. How you got here? Somebody had to get busy for you to get here. And we discovered that we, as a community, left the discussion of romantic love to Europeans.
Well, you keep saying romantic, Roman.
Hello, thank you.
I like to call it aphrodisiac.
I love it. Come on, I'll take that. Aphrodisiac. That is that love that has to do with us, you know, our attraction to each other, our intimacy, sexual intimacy, all the way from our emotional intimacy to sexual intimacy. It's important that we bring that in the house, okay? And that's not separate and apart from community love and revolutionary love. And because it is now, then our aphrodisiac love is often escapist. That is, I don't use that love to strengthen my dealing with reality and changing reality. I go into that love because it's misguided as an escape from it. Okay, one of the last year we gave award to Ia Fulani, and we played a piece from Bilal Sunni Ali, her husband. All right, and there's one line. It says, you know, war is never easy. You know, war brings on hardships. And he said, when that happens, look for me. And the whole piece was that his love was there to support her in meeting the challenges that she faced. All right, her love to him was to help strengthen him in dealing with building and healing and fighting for our community. But you see, if this aphrodisiac love has actually become romantic love, then in fact our love is supposed to be escapist. It's to get us away from that. How about my intimacy strengthening me? How about my intimacy healing me so that I become a better black man? Okay, in the real world. Okay, not that I have all kind of prowess in the bedroom, but none in the boardroom. You know, I use my foray in the bedroom as an escapist fantasy, because instead of strengthening me, so that I actually use that so that I have power in the real world. And y'all, this is real stuff. Okay, and this is stuff that we have to change, and all we have to do is come to blacklovedinner.com. I mean, serious. I'm being, in some ways, create in our own communities where we create new associations with black love. So we're associating black love not with escapist fantasies, but yes, it's hot, it's romantic, it's beautiful, it's aphrodisiac love that supports my healing from the wounds of oppression, that supports my building in spite of oppression, and that strengthens me when I need to challenge oppression.
Whoa. We're going to stop right there and leave it right there. Let that marinate. Baba Wekesa in the building. BlackLoveDinner.com. Stay tuned. This is InI Radio. Oh, yeah.